See how we look? It's pretty good. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay, hey, Kat here. I am a mortgage broker in Oregon, little rainy Oregon. This is Sean.
Hi, I'm Sean Manning with 44 North Realty, brokered by EXP.
Nice. Hey, Sean. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Hey. Well, today we wanted to talk a little bit about the process of buying and selling a home. So I want to talk a little bit about the financing, kind of do's and don'ts. And what are you going to talk about, Sean?
And I'm going to talk kind of my list for my listers for getting ready to sell their home.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Well, let's jump right into it. So, Sean, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Right. Well, like I said, I'm with 44 North Realty here in Salem, Oregon. We're brokered and powered by EXP, which is a global company. We have brokerages all across the United States,
Nice.
Canada, Greece, Italy, you name it.
Dang.
We keep growing. Australia is one of them. I can't wait to go
That'd be
there and
awesome. Yeah.
partner with somebody. But we have a vast system of information and knowledge and connectivity in order
Love
to
it.
get your house sold quickly.
That's awesome, Sean. Okay. Well, then let's talk a little bit about that process of listing your house.
Sure.
So, what does that look like? If I want to list my house today, what should I expect?
Man, so in this market's crazy.
Yeah.
Inventory is low, houses go quickly. People who are listing their house think, I'm just going to go ahead and put it on and it's going to go in 24 hours. That's still not quite the case. There's days
Yeah.
on market that we have to consider, and your house has to be prepped properly.
Yeah.
And so, what I'd like to talk about today is kind of my top 10 list
Okay.
of what to do with your home and yourselves, your family, to prepare yourself for
Okay.
that process.
So kind of like a checklist, so to speak, of like how to make sure that you maybe can get those offers you
Exactly.
wanted. And
Yeah.
okay, cool.
And this list is something that I provide for all of my clients. You know,
Okay.
if I'm talking to anybody about selling their house, I want them to understand the entire process and how I'm there to help them.
Okay.
So, to start the process, I think mentally you need to be prepared.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
that's
You gotta really buckle down for this, right? It's
right.
stressful.
It is like you ride the roller coaster of
Yeah.
emotions, and it's scary, it's exciting,
Yeah.
it's frustrating. So you need to prepare yourself and your
Okay.
family for that. And what that means is, kind of have a strategy. What are we going to do day to day to keep the house in order
Oh yeah.
for people to come in and go, wow, this house is nice, right?
That's like an undertaking in and of itself. So like live in a house, but also keep it in a good place, especially if you have children like me, or
Absolutely.
just constantly like little Tasmanian devils just
Yep.
destroying everything in their path.
Yeah, like
Okay.
me, I have my husky,
Okay.
and the house looks like it snows every day.
Oh, perfect.
So
Yeah. So keeping it clean, kind of difficult to do. So
absolutely.
you should be prepared for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you do have animals and you do have children, what do you do with them?
Yeah.
You have to think about these things. If you have a realtor
Mhm.
or a buyer's agent saying, "Hey, I want to show your house right now," I have somebody who's really excited. You need to be out of the house.
Yeah,
Where do you
that's
put
true.
everything? So have a plan for that. And have that conversation with your family, your children, stuff like that. Say, hey, we need to be really ready to go on a moment's notice.
Yeah.
So have that plan.
Can you set that kind of with your agent too? Like, hey, like we're gonna do listings from like this day to this day, and like you just go away for the weekend or
Yep.
something like that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
With your listing agent, you can have them put that in the MLS that you need X amount of hours notice
Okay.
or a day's notice or
Got
whatever.
it.
In this market, you still want to be available
Available.
as much as you possibly can. So just be aware of that.
Okay. Okay. So what kind of things are like? What else are we looking for here, Sean?
Well, I think if you're listing your house, have a buyer's mindset.
Okay.
And what that means is if you were the buyer walking into your house, what would you notice first? What
Okay.
would you want in a house, etc. And so, you want to list all of your amenities with your realtor. You want to make sure those amenities are looking tip top.
Okay.
You want any minor damages, that something that you've lived with that you just don't care about
Okay.
anymore. But the buyer might see and go,
Right.
oh,
Okay.
that house wasn't really well kept.
Okay.
So you want to pay attention to
Like,
that.
maybe just like wiping down surfaces and doorknobs and, cabinetry and that sort of stuff, kind of keeping
Exactly.
it clean and polished.
Yeah,
Okay. Copy.
absolutely. First thing that a buyer sees is the outside of your house, right?
That's true.
So curb appeal is a huge thing. So if you have a cluttered lawn, let's say that project car is still there up on blocks for the last 5 years, that probably shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
is your grass growing up around that car? You know, make sure that everything looks manicured, right?
Okay. So clean it up a little bit. Maybe, if it's springtime like it is right now, maybe go down to the local Home
Oh,
Depot and
absolutely.
grab some fresh little flowers and mow and kind of just clean up your entryway
Yeah.
and declutter.
One of my favorite things to do, regardless of selling my house or not,
Hmm.
is this time of year I go down to a nursery and I get those big hanging baskets with those beautiful
Oh
flowers.
yeah, yeah, like the
And it
fuchsias or
just,
yeah.
for me, it says this is a brand new season,
Yeah,
right? And so for somebody coming in, if I'm driving by somebody's house and I see that, I'm like, "Ooh, that's
they
pretty," you
care.
know?
They like
Yeah,
their house. Okay, cool.
absolutely. All right, now for the inside,
Yeah,
you got to keep it clean. You
yeah.
know, clutter free, keep it clean, minimize as much as possible.
Okay, so remove like the crocheted, grandma's whatever from your
Hmm.
coffee table.
Yeah.
Maybe pick up some of the pictures that I have. Like, you can see behind me, I have, some pictures on the wall of like my
Yeah.
family. I actually have a lot of pictures, guys. Do you think maybe I should like minimize the amount of pictures I have, or
I
what do you
think
think?
so. I mean, as important as they are to
Yeah,
you, they might not be as important to a
yeah.
buyer coming in.
Okay,
However, you can still maintain
yeah.
a few of them
Okay.
because it'll make your home feel
Oh
homey
yeah,
and,
it's
and
family.
family oriented,
Okay,
and especially if your buyers are coming in with children or
right.
if they are bringing multi-generational or
Yeah,
whatever, they want that comfort feeling.
that makes
So
sense.
yeah,
Okay, cool.
exactly.
All right. Well, what else do you got for me, Sean?
Obvious repairs. Your appraiser is going to come in and he's going to see everything in your
Yeah.
house. So if you have screens that are damaged, if you have drywall that has a hole in it due to whatever happens, right? Life.
Your
um,
husky running into your walls while wrestling with your
my
other
Irish
husky or your
wolfhound
Irish
pushing me through
wolfhound.
a
Yes,
wall.
exactly. Okay, so maybe clean that up a little bit. Okay,
Exactly.
got it.
If paint is dingy,
Okay,
paint is a big deal
yeah,
because if it looks old, they're going to perceive it as old and unkempt,
yeah,
right?
okay.
So if it's fresh, obviously don't do it the day that they're coming in,
Right, you don't want to make the
but
house smell like paint.
exactly,
Okay.
but you want it to look pretty spectacular.
Okay, well, okay, so that leads me to what should my house smell like, Sean?
Oh,
Hmm.
that's a great question. So, I like to cook.
Yes.
And what I do when I have anybody coming into my house, I always cook something.
Yes.
So it's either I'm baking cookies, I'm baking bread, or if I'm in somebody else's house,
Hmm.
what I like to do is have just kind of like this happy smelling pot of apple cider with cloves
Hmm.
and cinnamon stick and maybe a little
Just
fresh
like a little, just like a
orange.
little bit of like something, just gentle
Yeah,
to kind of like
absolutely.
tease your nose.
It really kind of makes it feel comfortable,
Okay, so
right?
don't cook fish.
No, don't cook fish. Don't burn microwave
No, no
popcorn.
curry, no
Oh, yeah, see, I
popcorn.
like
I know I love
curry.
curry too, but maybe not the best idea. Maybe not as
Probably not.
appealing to
Yeah,
everybody.
probably
Okay,
not.
got
All
it.
right.
Okay,
Well, just a couple more things.
okay,
Little details matter.
okay.
So, we talked about not cluttering the house,
Yeah, yeah.
but a fresh flower here and there,
Okay,
a really nice ornament here and there,
okay.
something decorative, but doesn't detract from
Like
the
not
house.
gaudy. Like
Exactly.
something nice. Okay.
Staging is the term that realtors use.
Yeah.
And a proper staging for a house goes a long way because they look at it as, wow, if they can live like that, I can live like
Yeah.
that,
Okay.
right? Even though you might not live like that.
Yeah.
So
Do you recommend anybody? Like, do you guys ever use stagers
we
in your
do.
homes?
It
Okay.
really depends on the need
Yeah.
for the home,
Right.
and kind of looking at the market a little bit
Mm-hmm.
too.
Yeah.
When it's more of a competitive market,
Mm-hmm.
it becomes more necessary to maybe go to that level.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I think in this market we can do that, and it minimizes costs and everything
Okay.
else too.
So just talk to your agent and see if maybe your house would be a good candidate
Yeah,
for having someone come in and help you so you're not stressing about, picking up all the things. Maybe hire a house cleaner. It's a good
exactly.
excuse
Yeah,
to get someone in to come and do some deep cleaning for you so you're
for
not having
sure.
to do it. I love
Yep,
it.
for
Okay.
sure. And actually, that is a really great segue into what you should hire or who you should hire,
Okay.
and that's a professional photographer.
Oh, yeah.
So through your realtor, your part of the listing should include good photography, so it puts your house right at the top of mind for everybody.
Okay.
A professional photographer will come in; they'll find the perfect lighting, the perfect angles, they will make your house look like a castle.
They know what buyers like want to see, right? Like they're not
Exactly.
going to take a picture of like some random closet with a bunch of coats.
Yep.
They're going to take a picture of like, the nice angle of your kitchen or your living room or your outdoor space that's really well put together.
Exactly.
Not with an iPhone or
No. And as enhanced as those
Android
are,
user, whatever you are.
as enhanced as those are,
Yeah.
it doesn't even
Not quite the
compare.
same.
So.
It's not just the camera, it's the eye, the person who like knows what the photos need to look like,
Absolutely.
what the best ones look
Yep.
like. Okay, cool.
Yep. I take blurry pictures all the time.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
happens.
that wouldn't be it.
Happens to the best of us. All right.
Last but not least, find yourself a highly qualified realtor.
Okay.
And the reason for that is everything we just listed here. There's so much that goes on behind the scenes that you might not be aware of. And they have the connections to the answers to all of the companies or these professionals,
resources
the
and
resources,
yeah.
and lending resources too. If you hadn't quite thought of that on a buyer's side,
Yeah.
we have those
Connections.
those relationships.
Yeah, I love it.
So